पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णा प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथचला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगा। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा। देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः। We are studying from the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Yoga, wherein Sri Krishna enumerates how to recognize the divine and how to develop love towards the divine. The second verse, which we studied last week, Sri Krishna said, Man maya mayi aveshya mano ye mam nityayukta upaste shraddhaya parayopetas te me yukta tamamata. Those I considered as the most perfect in yoga. He uses superlative degree here, that is most perfect. Everyone can achieve some kind of perfection, there is no doubt about that. But the best among the yogis, that is those who have perfected to the highest extent, are known as Yukta Tamamataha. That means their connection with me is eternal, their connection with me is unbreakable. When the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna or Holy Mother Sharada Devi used to inquire about Holy Mother, Mother, how is it that we can remember the divine at all times? The Holy Mother would say, look my child, one can remember just as one has, if one has a pain, especially the tooth pain, if you have a toothache That's Sri Ramakrishna's words, of course. If you have a toothache, you are performing all of your actions, but yet a portion of your mind is always on the toothache. So in the same way, it is possible, that means we can be connected with the divine at all times. So here he says, Yukta Tama Mataha, the best among the yogis are those who are connected to me at all times, surrendering one's senses, one's mind and actions. So that is called as Yukta Tama. Maya Veshya Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Temi Yukta Tama Mataha. But without love for God, without bhakti, one cannot be constantly united with the divine. Practicing other disciplines like the Raja Yoga or Jnana Yoga and all that, it's okay. You can connect yourselves with the divine at times, but not at all times. That is the idea that he tries to say, that a bhakta or a devotee will be able to always have connection with the divine. So what happens is that when one sees the divine existent in anything and everything, then one can serve God positively with a positive spirit. So that's what Sri Krishna is trying to instruct us, that have steadfast love towards me. Have that love which you have for your own self. Have that same love, or even more than that, towards me at all times. In the next two verses, Sri Krishna also gives to us some of the instructions about how to think about. And of course, he makes a difference between those who worship God without form and those who worship God with form. Yetu aksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyancha kutastham achalam dhruvam sanniyamyendriya agramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha ye prapte prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. Those who are devoted to the imperishable, that is the formless aspect of the divine, imperishable Brahman, who is the firm support of the world, because the world is a manifest being, so to say. It is a living being. So the world is manifest, but the divine is beyond all of that. Yetu aksharam anirdeshyam avyaktam pari upasate, who is the firm support of the world and also undefinable. There is an example that is given. There are clouds in the sky which we see, and the thing that makes the clouds move is the breeze or the wind. But the akasha, that is the space or the sky, is the basis on which both the wind and the clouds move. So the basis is akasha. But when during pralaya, that is during dissolution, even the akasha also, the space also dissolves. It also enters into where? It enters into Brahman or the Supreme Being. Saying this, Sri Krishna is trying to instruct to us that we should have the concept at all times that the divine is always existing within and without, within me as well as outside of me. This is a great concept that Sri Krishna, of course all the Upanishads proclaim. So he says that this is kutastham. He uses the word kutastham, means unchangeable. That which does not undergo any transformation or change is called as kutastham. Achalam. Achalam means immovable, that which does not move. Just now, just as I gave the example of the clouds, the wind and the sky, beyond all of that. And then he uses another term. All of these terms are used by Sri Krishna to instruct to us the importance of understanding the nature of the divine. So he says Dhruvam. Dhruvam means eternal. Dhruvam means it is always existent at all times, whether the universe is or whether the universe is not. At all times that divine is always existing. So Kutastam Achalam Dhruvam. So how to realize that? Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam Sarvatra Samabuddhayaha. Samniyamya. By controlling, by taking our senses under our control, Indriya Gramam Sarvatra Samabuddhayaha. The other word that he uses is Sarvatra Samabuddhayaha. Try to have that equanimous vision. Samabuddhi means seeing the essence of the universe behind everything. See, we identify ourselves as Jack, Harry, or so on and so forth. But behind all that name, behind all that form, there is the essence that is the divine. So it's very important. If you read the life of Sri Krishna, Ramakrishna and all other great saints, you will see this. Wherever they behold the divine itself. Sri Ramakrishna was once taken to the Calcutta Zoo. And there, when he went inside, he was taken to the enclosure where the lions are kept. As soon as he saw the lion, his mind went into deep samadhi. He became motionless, oblivious of the outer world completely. So, then somehow they brought him back, and then he later jocularly used to say, I went to see the zoo, but the first thing that I saw was the lion, and immediately my mind soared high and the thought that the lion is the vahana, or the vehicle, or the mount of Mother Durga, goddess Durga. As soon as that thought came to my mind soared high into the divine. So I could not see other animals at all. He came back. Then once he was taken to the Calcutta Maidan, that is a very big place where there is fairs and other things are held, and there is a monument, Octorloni monument. And he saw that there was a British young boy. He was standing against a post, a lamp post, with his legs crossed, just as you see in some pictures of Sri Krishna with the legs crossed. As soon as he saw him, his mind soared high and he went into samadhi. Then when somebody asked, what happened to you? You went into samadhi. Well, I saw that white boy and I saw Sri Krishna in him. Sri Krishna is also in the picture, he also stands like that with his legs crossed. See? Immediately his mind soars into a different realm. In the life of Sri Chaitanya also we hear such incidents. Once he saw in a village, he went to visit some devotees in a village, and he saw a tree which is pitch black in its color. It's like a black oak or something. As soon as he saw that, immediately the thought came to his mind that Sri Krishna's color is dark or black, and the tree is black, and here stands Sri Krishna. Instead of seeing the tree, he saw Sri Krishna over there. Then he goes to another village. There the devotee said, from this village we dig the clay, and then this clay is very, very good in order to make the mridangam, the drums that we make. So they make clay drums. And as soon as he heard that, his mind went into deep ecstasy. He said, listening to the playing of these drums, one goes into ecstasy, one goes and remembers the divine. Taking the name of the Lord, one plays on these drums. So his mind soared high. So somebody came and said that you should not associate with such and such a people, these people who were the ruffians of the village, or who were the outcasts of the society. And Sri Krishna said, what can I do? I only see the Lord everywhere. Jatra jatro netra pode tatra tatra Krishna spure. Wherever my eyes behold, there the manifestation of Sri Krishna takes place. I only see Krishna over there. So that's what Sri Krishna is trying to say. Sarvatra sama buddhayaha. Having that sense that the divine exists everywhere. It's both a sadhana and also a siddhi. It's both a spiritual practice as well as that which is attained. By when we deal with people, when we talk to people, or when we interact with people, just have in one corner of your thought, of your mind, that I am dealing with a representative of the divine. You may not be able to see the divine, but just try to have that sense that there is the representative of the divine. Divine is in everything and everywhere. Naturally, it is there in this person also. Slowly and slowly expand that idea that I am seeing the divine. You will be able to behold the divine. That's what Sri Krishna is trying to impress upon us. Te prapnuyanti mam eva. They reach me alone. That is, he is talking about those who worship God without form also. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. They see the welfare of all people. And then in the next verse he says, Kleshodhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta higatir dukkham dehavat bhiravapyate. Tesham kleshaha adhikataraha. The obstacles faced by those devoted to the impersonal absolute are far greater. It's very difficult to impersonally love anybody. Can you love anybody by impersonally? It's very difficult. You can't do it. It's only in person that love flourishes. You may be able to, but it will not be complete. It will not be constant also. Whereas when you love somebody in flesh and blood, it becomes very deep. The love becomes very deep in your personality. So he says, adhikatarastesham avyakta asakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir. For the way of an unclear ideal is difficult for an embodied being, that is the body-centric person. Dehavadbhihi, he says, the body-centric person, to understand or to follow. See, fixing of the mind on the unmanifest is extremely difficult. So some religions, they think of God with attributes. God is full of love, God is full of compassion, and so on and so forth. Whereas in Hinduism, we give form to the divine. We give form to the divine. So, and accept it as a manifestation of the divine. So he says, but the the practice of meditation or practice of spiritual discipline for those who are not devoted to a person becomes very difficult. He doesn't say it is impossible, but he says it is very kleshaha, means difficult. It's extremely difficult. So one has to have an ideal. That's why in Hinduism we worship God in various forms. We give it various names and we gave it various forms. But the ideal is one, that God is the absolute being, that He is beyond time, beyond space and beyond the causation. He is the one which is beyond everything. That is the idea that we have. So, but you can think of God without attributes also. Some people do not connect themselves to God with form. It's very natural for them. That's all right. It's perfectly all right. But as long as they think of the divine, as long as they maintain that currency of the divine within themselves at all times, that is the idea. Avyaktahi gatir dukkam. He says it's very difficult. Dehavabhi avapyate. Ye tu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya matpara ananye naiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamaham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. So here he is giving the wonderful teaching of Bhakti Yoga to us. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. One who surrenders all actions. Mai sanyasya matparaha. One who takes refuge in me as the Supreme Being. Matparaha. Ananyena eva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. One who worships or one who meditates upon me with unbroken yoga. Ananye naiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. That is to say, nothing is greater than the divine. And the only goal of life is to see the divine or to experience the presence of the divine in our lives. That is called as ananyena eva yogena. And he uses another word, matparaha. Nothing is greater than the divine. Mat means me. Nothing is greater than the divine. That is the idea he tries to impress upon ourselves here. So ananya, always thinking of the divine. Is it possible? As I had already said in the beginning, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. It's only that we need to convince to ourselves that the divine is a reality. It's not just a concept. As of now, for all of us, God is only a concept. God is not something which is existent within us, existing, and who is manifesting every moment within us. No, we do not have that feeling at all. But we have a concept that God is a reality, that He is there. But are we 100% convinced of it? Sri Ramakrishna used to give an example. A person, I'm just paraphrasing that example, and he said, a man once went and checked into a motel. As he checked into a motel, he came to know that another person who had checked in with 5 jars full of gold coins. Now this man was by nature a thief. So he asked for a room next to the other person's room. So Sri Ramakrishna asks the question, well, being a thief, would this person be able to sleep the night away in peace? Will not be able to, because he's always thinking of how to steal some or all of the gold coins from the person who is having it in the next room. So in the same way, if God is a reality to us, that if we know that God is existing just next to us, would we rest assured or would we rest in peace? No, we will not rest in peace. We will strive at our utmost in order to somehow approach, somehow go and make it ourselves, our very own. So he says, Ananyena eva yogena, at all times. Mam dhyayantaha upasate. Dhyayantaha means here emotionally you attach yourself. Dhyayantaha, emotionally you attach yourself, and upasate, he says, attach yourself through action. One is attachment through emotion, that is dhyana, and the other is upasana, is attachment through our action. I attach whatever I am doing. I am talking, I am reading, I am eating. At all, what am I doing it for? In order that I may see Him, I may be able to realize the divine. So that is my action. The motivating factor of my action should be that I should see the divine. I should dedicate, or I should work for the divine. All the motivation is that I am doing it for pleasing the divine. So that is the idea represented in this verse. Tesham aham matamuddharta. If you have such an attitude, if you have that intensity of love towards me, so Sri Krishna assures, aham samuddharta. I am here to save such people. Mrityu samsara sagarat, from the clutches or the fear, I can even say from the fear of death. Mrityu samsara sagarat. Samsara sagara means this is the ocean of this transmigratory existence, coming and going, coming and going. No, I don't want to come and I don't want to go again. I want to finish up with the work that I have undertaken in this world, and then go and become one with the divine. That is the idea. Bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasam. Achirat, with very soon one will reach me. Mayi aveshita chetasam. That means one whose mind is firmly set in me. Aveshita. Avesha means getting set in the divine. Mayi aveshita chetasam na chirat. So he will become one with me. I will read the running meaning of these two verses. O son of Pritha, soon will I lift from this ocean of death-bound worldly existence those whose minds are ever set on me, those who abandon to me the fruits of all their actions, together with the sense of agency thereof. It is probably easier to dedicate whatever we do to the divine, especially when we do something that is not good. It is probably easy for us to dedicate, oh, God did it. Sri Ramakrishna's very famous story is there. A Brahmin, that means a man who was given to worship and all other duties, he had he had a yard, a big backyard, and then he had grown lots of flowers and fruits in that garden. And he used to pluck those flowers, take it to the temple and worship it. Now he was very proud that he was able to develop such a beautiful garden. He also knew a little bit of the scriptures, being a priest. So one day, as he was working in the garden, the neighbor's cow came in and went about eating the plants. As soon as he saw that, he engaged in a fit of rage and then took a very sharp object and then went and hit the cow. As soon as he did that, the cow collapsed there and died. Now, a thought entered into his mind, well, by killing a cow, I have engaged myself in a sin called Gohatya, Mahapap. It's called as great sin. One of the great sins is killing a cow or a woman, according to the Hindu scriptures. So he said, I have engaged myself in a great sin. I have incurred great sin by doing this. So he thought what to do. Of course, disposing of the body is one thing, but how to get rid of the sin that I have accumulated by doing this action. Then he had read somewhere that the presiding deity of the hand is Indra. Indra is the god of all the demigods. So he immediately, the idea struck into his mind, well, it is Indra that has killed the cow. I have not killed the cow. Because the presiding deity of the hand is Indra. He is the one who killed the cow, not me. So I am without if sin has to come and attack me, let it attack the hand and not me. It's how we cheat ourselves in spiritual life, in religious life. So, Indra, the Lord, he heard this and then he came down in the garb of a traveler, and then he came and then he saw the beautiful garden and then he started praising. Well, what happened? Who has looked after this garden? Who has grown all of these flowers? The Brahmin proudly said, well, I am the one who has done all of that. Oh, you have done all of this. Very good. And then he went around and went to the corner where the cow was killed and it was buried. Then he said, well, who has killed the cow over here? He said, well, the cow has been killed by Indra and not by me. Then Indra revealed himself and said, you scoundrel, when you were taking all the accolades for developing the garden, it was you. And then when you killed the cow, it was Indra, it was me that has killed. What kind of a religious person are you? So that's what we also try to hide, behind our frailties when it comes while to commit anything that is wrong. We will say, God has done that. When we want to take credit to what we have done, then we will take full credit for that, but not for the evil deeds. So he says here, Tesham bhavami na chirat partha mai aveshita chetasam. That means, Mai aveshita chetasa. My mind is firmly set, or your mind is firmly set in the divine. Those who abandon to me the fruits of all their actions, together with the sense of agency, that is, not you, not I that have done, but it is the divine who has caused this. The divine who is doing everything through this vehicle called the body. And he says, and who worship me, that means one who emotionally attaches oneself with the divine, meditates on me as their sole refuge and their only object of love. Mayyeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivasishyasi mayyeva atavurdhvam na samshayah. Mayi eva mana adhatsva. Sri Krishna is emphasizing this surrender to the divine. Here he is assuming the sense of the divine to himself, because he was an incarnation of the divine. Mayi eva mana adhatsva, in me alone, manaha, the mind, adhatsva, fix. You fix your mind. Sri Ramakrishna used to give an example. In olden days in India, and we also used to do as children, we would go to the courtyard and there will be a post, and we would hold the post and we will go round and round and round and round. It will give us a great joy to do that. But our hand must be holding on to the post firmly. So that's what he says, you hold on to me. Do whatever you are supposed to do, whatever work, go round and round and round, doesn't matter, but hold on to me. As soon as you give that up and try to go round, you will fall down, you will injure yourself. So fix your mind on me. Make myself as the sheet and anchor, just as the ships have a sheet anchor. So mayi adhatsva, mayi buddhim niveshaya, in me your reason or your understanding should be niveshaya, should be placed. Fix your mind on me alone. Let your reason penetrate into me. That is, let your mind, whole mind, be completely immersed in me. That is the idea. Without doubt, you will then abide in me alone for evermore. Nivasishyasi atmayeva ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Buddhi and mana, that means mind and intellect, are the attendants of this body-mind complex. Mind and the intellect are the attendants. Keep them at your bidding, not at the, you don't run at their bidding, but we always do it the other way. Our mind and our intellect cheats us, so to say, the real self. Offer your mind and intellect to me, he says. Nivasishyasi mayyeva atha urdhvam na samshayaha. Tries to impress upon us that there is no doubt that if you place your mind upon me, if you allow me to penetrate into your intellect, if you allow me to work through you, I will do that. Do not have any doubt about it. Samshaya, that means, see, when you will see that in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, it began with the doubt of Arjuna. Arjuna had the doubt whether to fight or not to fight. He was in two minds. Sri Krishna here gives a firm answer. Yes, do everything that you are required to do, but Dedicate it to me. Let me work through you. In fact, the divine works through us in many, many ways. We do not realize it, but in many of our actions, many of our thoughts and things, we ourselves do not know how we did certain things, how we improved our situation, how did we climb up to great heights. We do not know, because there is the guidance of the divine behind it. Fix your mind on me alone. Let your reason penetrate into me. Atha urdhvam na samshayaha. Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mayi stiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichchaptum dhananjaya. If you are unable to fix your mind steadily on me, even at the start, then try to reach me through the systematic practice of concentration. Because if we are not able to do it, then at least spend some time every day. That is, spend some time just to think of the divine. If you are not able to do it throughout your day, just specify some time. We have 24 hours. In 24 hours, we can definitely put aside some time. In the morning and in the evening, which is the joining times of both the night and the day, and then the evening and the night. So at these two times, dedicate some time for the divine. That is the idea. Na shaknoshi mayi stiram abhyasa yogena. Abhyasa means practice and systematic practice. Yoga means here systematic practice, abhyasa yoga. So very important in our life. Sometimes we may bring the mind together and tie it, but sometimes the tie or the string with which we tie it might get loosened. That's why tightening it again and again. Sri Ramakrishna's teacher of Advaita Vedanta was Totapuri. And Totapuri had a copper vessel or a copper pot, and he used to go to the Ganges, the river Ganges, and there he used to take the sand, or it's a very fine sand, and he used to rub it for a long time. He would clean it and clean it and clean it. And that was the only position that he valued, because other things he didn't wear clothes much, just a loin cloth, and everything else was nothing for him. Only that he used to keep it very carefully, and he used to use it for drinking water. Now Sri Ramakrishna asked him the question, well, you have renounced everything, but you seem to be very, very much attached to this pot, the copper pot. And Totapuri, and why are you cleaning it every day? Take so much of effort in cleaning it every day, making it shine like gold. Totapuri then said, look here, this is called Abhyasa Yoga. This is the yoga of practice. While I am cleaning it, I am trying to remind myself that I must cleanse my mind every day. Every day, that you cleanse your mind of all other impurities and infill it with the thought of the divine, infill it with the presence of the divine. That is called as Abhyasa Yoga. In order to do that, it's not enough for us to just pray to God or meditate upon God or sing that name and glories of God once a week or once a month. That's not enough. Every day, every moment it should be, which is not possible practically for us who live very busy lives, but at least we can do this, that we can practice thinking, think of the divine every day. Keep out some time amidst your busy schedule, and try to think of the divine. That's what he says. Na shaknosi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tato. Try again. Sri Ramakrishna once went to see a circus, and he would come and he would narrate all his experiences. See, everywhere he saw the presence of the divine. Says, when I went to the circus, I saw this girl standing on one leg on the horse, and the horse was going at high speed around the circle, and she was standing on one feet. How did she do it? And he would say, it is Abhyasa Yoga, the yoga of practice. She had practiced it every day. First, she would probably sit on the back of the horse, train the horse, and then slowly she would fold her legs and then sit, and then slowly she started standing with both her feet, and then she mastered the art of standing with one foot. So that is Abhyasa Yoga. That's what it is. And when you do that, what happens is you do not accept any defeat. Try to do it. Try again, and you shall succeed at last. Standing at the foot, boys, gazing at the sky. How can you get up, boys, if you never try? The poem that I used to hear very much when I was a young boy. When I used to go to the end of the little town where I lived, there was a hill, and I would just look at the hill. When will I be able to climb up? So the person who used to accompany me, he used to sing this, or he used to sing this poem, and he was standing at the foot, boys, gazing at the sky. How can you get up, boys, if you never try? If you never try, you will not be able to. So try again, and you shall succeed at last. You will be able to succeed at last. That's what Sri Krishna is trying to say to us, that if you offer yourself to me and then practice this yoga, then you will be able to achieve me, you will be able to scale to greater heights. We will stop here and we will continue the study next week. Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogiridhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanaatam. Om Shanti Shanti.